we're now in 18 schools, and we serve well over 600 bowls of soup a day. So none of that would be possible without the folks in this room. So that's why we're here tonight, celebrating you and what you do for us. Mark Strahl was going to be here tonight, but he couldn't. So he sent us a quick letter that he asked me to read to you. Thank you for the invitation to attend your first appreciation event. Regrettably, I'm unable to attend. I'll be working in Ottawa, but I want to convey my appreciation to the volunteers, dedicated local sponsors who make the Feed the Children program possible. I'm so proud that this unique program, which gives offenders important job skills while providing nourishment to children who would otherwise go hungry, was founded here in Chilliwack. Thanks to the tireless efforts of volunteers and the generosity of local sponsors, 600 children in need receive over 10,000 bowls of soup each month. On behalf of the people of Chilliwack, Fraser Canyon, thank you to all involved in making this program such a success. I have no doubt that this program will be paying dividends in our community for years to come. Sincerely, Honorable Mark Strahl, MP, Chilliwack, Fraser Canyon. If you look around the room, you'll notice the appreciation from the kids that you help us feed every day. We asked them to just come up with some banners, and we thought we maybe have 4 or 5 would show up, and lo and behold, we ran out of room. So you can tell that the kids involved in the program really understand what they're getting and how much it's appreciated by them. They took the time to do this, and at 5:30 I got a banner because the school didn't want to not represent itself, and then at 5 to 6 the last banner showed up from Central for the same reason. They didn't want to go without showing their appreciation to everybody. So that was a wonderful gesture on behalf of the students. What I'll do now is turn it over to Cindy, who's just going to give you some idea of what some of the things that we've been doing and are going to be doing. So here, Cindy. Try that. I don't know. Norm did something to it.
Norm's fixing it. All right.
Norm helped me set up the video, so you know how this is going to go.
That film was all 18 wheels of the bus.
Hopefully you have it fixed. Can you hear me? Is that all right? It's not squealing? Closer to me. All right. How's that? Yes? No? Hi, everyone. I'm glad we had such a fantastic turnout. Look at everybody that's involved in this program. It's not even half the people that are involved in the program. So there's a huge amount of people here that make sure that we get soup to schools every day, and it's growing continuously. So I think it's fantastic that so many could join us and help to thank and celebrate each other and what we've accomplished. I wanted to introduce one person that's sort of new to our group. Farley James, do you want to stand up? He's at the back of the room here. Farley's a practicum student with Vancouver Career College, and he's joined us for the month of October. And I have to tell you, he has jumped in with both feet. I am so appreciative to have him on board. He has been to all the schools several times. I mean, that's 18 schools. He's called, he's emailed, he's run over there. He's the one that had the idea for these banners. He got them going on it. He made sure that we got all these banners here today. He's helped me ensure that all the schools got scheduled with the startup this year was pretty rocky with the strike, and so it was really difficult going and coordinating, and couldn't have done it without Farley helping to coordinate all of that. And he's also helped us get the milk program rolling. So I really wanted to tell you, Farley, how much I've appreciated having you on board, even if it's only for the month of October. And thank you so much for everything you've done. One of the new groups that we have on board with us this year is Envision Financial. They've come on board in a great big way, and they've followed in the footsteps of Van City, who this is their second year with us. Van City came on as a group out of the Chilliwack branch, and 8 of them came on board and started delivering soup every week for us. And Envision has just followed suit, so they've sort of jumped on the train, and they're getting everybody trained up, and I think they're learning the ropes, even though it was a fast start for this year. So thank you so much, Van City and Envision, for allowing your staff to come on board and help us all. You guys have been really busy this year, I have to say. We used to stop in the summer and take a break. This summer we did not take a break, not for 1 second. We got a new freezer this year, and I know that Mike's going to talk a little bit about some of the exciting things that we've had happen, but part of that has meant that volunteers have not had a summer vacation. They've been running. We have had corn on the cob that was donated to us, and volunteers all got together and prepped that, and I think it took probably a good day's work, eh, Bev and Gary? Yes, way more than we thought it would. But we had a good group over there at their place, and they got that corn frozen, and we're just reaping the benefits of that now. A group of us also went out and picked blueberries, so the kids are going to get some fruits and other treats this year from that. So those are all in the freezer. We got about 2,000 pounds of vegetables donated to us this summer, and so volunteers were very busy prepping and freezing those, so that's going to be a huge benefit as well, because we usually had to buy those if they weren't donated from other organizations. So that's a good start to this year. Some of the new things that we have coming up are pretty exciting. We have the Chilliwack Fire Department that's coming on board with a mentoring program. So they are starting next week, actually on Halloween, and they're going to McCammon School. That's going to be the first school they go to. And they're going to bring along with them sandwiches, fruit salad using the blueberries that we have frozen. And they're also going to be delivering chocolate milk, because we're having our milk starting up next week as well. So the milk will be going to all the schools, but the fire department will be bringing those things to McCammon School. And they're going to be sitting with the kids, talking to them, dishing out the fruit salad and the other goodies, and hopefully bringing a whole bunch of pumpkins that we've also had donated. So the kids are probably going to enjoy that treat. They'll also go out and see the fire truck in the parking lot, and then the fire department will be doing that for each school probably twice a month for the rest of the year. So the kids are really looking forward to that. The other group that we have coming on board are the Chilliwack Chiefs hockey team, and they're going to be doing a similar mentoring program to all the schools, where they'll have 2 or 3 of the hockey players going to the schools and sitting and talking with them as well about the things that they do. And they'll be delivering the soup and other goodies that we can get in for those occasions. One of the new things that we have, as I talked about before, is milk delivery and fruit, and that's due to a donation from Envision, and we are very grateful for that. So we've been gearing up to get those things for the schools, and then we'll be delivering them periodically as we can get volunteers in to help us do that, because as you can imagine, that's not something we can do, with the soup. I think that pretty much covers most of the new things that we have happening this year. We do have a group of students from Mount Shiam Christian School. They're grade 10 leadership students, and at some point this year they're going to be working with the local harvest. We're not sure of the date yet, but that's something that we are looking forward to, having them work with the local harvest and make wraps for the kids, and doing some deliveries, and helping the local harvest with harvesting some of their veggies, and putting some of those back into the community as well. So I think that pretty much wraps up our school year, and we'll keep everybody pretty busy. I want to thank you all again for helping us out with this program.
Go Cindy's going to drink her wine now. One of the first things I think I should do is let you know who sponsored this event. Again, as you know, or people have heard me speak, the monies that we raise for the program stay in the program. So lo and behold, I said no when they said they wanted to feed you guys. I said no. The money's not to go out and feed our volunteers. So I challenged the board of directors to go out and find some sponsors, and as Chilliwack always does, they come through in incredible ways. Best Western stepped up right away, gave us an incredible deal that we couldn't say no to. So the Best Western is one of our major sponsors for your event tonight. Secondly, the Chilliwack Curling Club. We do catering for them for various events. They indicated all the money that went from the catering was, they wanted it going towards this event. So the curling club came through. Local Harvest, Dan again, absolutely wonderful. Gave us, I'm not going to tell you the deal because you're probably going to go knock on his door and ask him for the same one with the veggies. So the veggies you had tonight were from the Local Harvest, and those carrots were phenomenal again, Dan. Thank you. And farm-fed poultry, the chicken that you guys got tonight, that's the chicken that we use for the kids. They donate that chicken to us all year long, saving us incredible amounts of money. And Greystone Promotions came through again wonderfully, helping us get this off the ground. Beautiful banners and some other nice things we're going to hand out later on tonight, so thank you. Cindy touched on our freezer. So what I wanted to do is just kind of back up and let you guys know what we actually got involved in earlier in the summer and then right through the summer into the fall. Hank, one of our directors, I'll have the directors introduce themselves here in a minute, was able to work with the Chilliwack Foundation, who was gracious and absolutely incredible, and gave us $11,000 to go out and buy a 10x10 freezer and one of those two-door sliding coolers. Now, the significance of that is tremendous in the sense that we get all kinds of stuff offered to us. And for the longest time, if we couldn't use it within a week, we'd have to say no. So we would get different things donated to us. If it was good for a week, we'd take it, and we'd run with it as quick as we could. And we would watch thousands upon thousands of pounds of various produce go by us because we had no way of taking care of it. The foundation came through with the $11,000. We bought that freezer. I should have brought pictures because you wouldn't believe it. You can't walk into that freezer anymore. It's full. It's full. Well, Rich cleaned it up. That's another director. He likes taking credit for cleaning the freezer up, but it's an incredible thing for us. We worked out the other day that we have about 6 months of our program, which runs 10 months out of the year, in that freezer. And that to us is just incredible. So a huge thank you to the Chilliwack Foundation for providing that to us. So thank you very much. People wondered what we were going to do during the strike. I thought we were going to get a few weeks off. Lo and behold, Ruth and Naomi's called us and said, Mike, we're in trouble. We've got all these kids coming over that you generally feed, and we don't know what to do. So we geared up our volunteers, we geared up our kitchen, we got everybody going, and we started doing up soup and running it over to Ruth and Naomi's. So we were able to meet that need. And in life, when you do a good thing, it's called that pay it forward. All of a sudden, we're talking with Ruth and Naomi's, and they say, well, you know what, we could use some turkeys. Of course, Norm, being Norm, had turkeys. And we ran a bunch of turkeys over to them, and they thought, wonderful, we got Thanksgiving covered now, we got Christmas covered. What a wonderful donation that you guys made to us. And all of a sudden, they said, you guys need bread? I mean, we go through bread. If the folks that are in this room that deliver it, you know how much bread we go through a year. It's between $8,000 and $10,000 in bread. So they put us in touch with Silver Hills Bakery out in Aldergrove. And they heard our story. Norm had them look at the video, and lo and behold, a week ago, they've decided to donate all our bread to us for the rest of the year and for the years to come. So they're donating 120 loaves of bread. So they're donating 120 loaves of bread a week back to the freezer. No freezer, no bread. Again, we can't do it. So you can see how these little pay it forwards and getting these little things off the ground started helping us. The reason we had turkeys is we had a freezer. We got a ton of turkeys, we threw them in the freezer. What are we going to do with the turkeys? I don't know, Mike, but we'll figure something out. Lo and behold, we make this great connection and end up with an incredible donation. We also were involved this year with the Chilliwack Art Council fundraiser. We found that really fun. We made the soup for that event. So I'm not sure if everybody knows what that's about, but they have all these artistic bowls made, and that's how they raise money for their foundation. And we connected with them, and we provided them the soup for the event. And they said it was the first time that people actually ate the soup, which we kind of thought was weird, but I guess whatever soup they used to make, it was kind of just almost like, well, that wasn't very good, and people didn't eat it. And they actually had people come up and fill their bowls a few times. So that was a great way of promoting ourselves and letting people know who we are and where we are in the community. From that, we've now been getting phone calls from different business people and community leaders asking how they can come and help us. So we've kind of turned a corner. Where I used to sit on a corner with a box of pencils and a can and beg and ask people for all the money I could and drive people nuts, and every time I talked to people, it was, can you please give me money? Can you please give me money? We're actually getting phone calls from people now saying, how can I give you money? Which to us means we've turned the corner and we're actually heading in that direction that we've always wanted to head. And that is to make sure that there isn't a child in any of the schools in this community that isn't eating. And at this point, we feel that we've connected pretty much with all of them. Now, the reality of that is, without you, none of this happens. I'll be the first to admit, I'm a great front man. I can go out and sell pretty much any Eskimo and ice cube. That's something I've always been good at. But then visions need people. And without people, visions just remain visions. So without all the people in this room, and as Cindy said earlier, the other half that couldn't make it tonight, none of this would happen. So this is just a very, very small token of us thanking you. I don't think there's anything we could do to thank you enough. The amount of hours that go into this program by various volunteers and the group of directors that run the Bowls of Hope is something I've never seen before. I've been involved in countless foundations, groups, clubs, societies. I've never seen this. And the best part, and this is me, Mr. Vision, I can ask the craziest things, and there's always 5, 6, 10 people that step up and say, I'll do it. I've never come up with one of my crazy schemes that people turn down. And then we move forward, and we continually move forward, and we continue to strive towards that end goal where we would really like to be feeding these kids through the summer and on weekends. I mean, it's great that we can feed them during the school week. As you know, the studies that have been conducted are showing incredible dividends. These kids are doing so well in school. But then there's the weekends. And my heart still gets tugged because I know when they leave Friday, they're not eating Saturday and Sunday. Because we do feed a lot of kids on Monday, and we never see any soup come back. And then there's the summer. So therein lies my next challenge to the group, my next vision. We got to find a way to feed these children on the weekends, and I got to find a way with your help to feed them through the summer and make sure that they're being fed and they're getting the nutrition they need and they continue on the track they need to stay on. So that's the challenge. Here's some of the events that's going to help us get there. 3 major events that we run during the year. So May 1st, everybody got their calendars out? Come on, where are they? May 1st, that's our annual dinner auction. That's going to be held again at Csoka. Our annual golf tournament, we got that off the ground this year. I'm not sure who was there, but the folks that were there, it was an absolute over-the-top success. Absolutely blew me away. I was hoping that we'd get a few people out to play golf and that I wouldn't lose money. We ended up making money, and we filled the golf course, and we've been invited back by the golf course into their tournament schedule. So that was how good we did. So, and the folks that played in it, just ask some of the folks around this room. It was I've been golfing since I was like 14. That was probably the funnest day I've ever had. It was absolutely crazy fun. So that's August 20th this year, August 20th this year. September 20th, I'm sorry. September 20th this year. Then we have our Chilliwack Chiefs game night. We're co-sponsoring with the BC Dairy Council. That's January 23rd. There'll be raffles, puzzles, and other stuff going on there that we're going to raise some money. Chilliwack Chiefs 50-50 draw. We have that night on February 6th. So please come out to the game, even if you hate hockey, and just give us your money. That's our game night. For these events and anything else that we're doing right now, Cindy's got sheets up here for our volunteering, if you're looking to come out and give us a hand with that. So there's sign-up sheets. It would be great if you could sign up and give her a hand at getting some of those off the ground so she's not scrambling towards the end. Norm is our marketing director and media director. This year we've moved forward again. We have a tent now, or we've bought a tent that's coming, a 10x10 tent, has our logos on it. Those will be used at various events that we're invited to attend. Chilliwack Chamber of Commerce Golf Tournament we go to, the Chilliwack Chiefs Golf Tournament. We just use those events for exposure and just letting people know what we do. We have umbrellas. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. The umbrellas that we ordered were supposed to be golf umbrellas. Somehow between here and China, we ended up with smaller umbrellas. And what we're trying to do is, because Greystone is such a wonderful sponsor and a supporter, we're gonna get rid of these tonight for $10 a piece, and it's just a fundraiser. And they're just the little ones that you can keep in your back of your car or in your trunk. They pop up. They're wonderful, and they do have our logo on it. So if anybody feels the urge of giving me $10, I'll give you an umbrella. So we're gonna try to sell those off tonight as well. We do have golf umbrellas coming though. Yeah, so those will be things that we're going to use at our golf tournament and other events, again, to promote ourselves. You know, big, huge orange and white umbrellas with our logo on it. So, social media. This to me was one of our home runs. Mark, stand up, Mark. You know, stand up, Mark. I'm going to embarrass you. Yeah, stand up, Mark. Mark is Cindy's husband, and I sat there one night drinking wine with Cindy and Mark and had another vision. I said, I need a Facebook page and I need a web page. And I looked at Mark and I said, can you do it? And he goes, no. I said, good, it's your job. So Mark did all the research and somehow self-taught himself and got our web page up and our Facebook up. He did a wonderful job over the past 2 years keeping that running. But at this point, we've moved into an arena and growth that we need to actually get bigger, better, faster, quicker, and stay on top of it. So Norm was able to talk with Justin Booth. If you look at the back, he's the guy hiding behind the camera. Justin owns Doc Visual Media, and he has come on board with us pro bono. He's going to do all our media and all our social networking stuff for free to support the society. So a big thank you to Justin. Don't feel bad, Mark. You wanted rid of this long ago. So everybody's going, oh, Mike, poor Mark, are you treating Mark so bad? No, he wanted out of this so bad. So
Louder than anyone else.
yeah, that's right. You're going to see an email coming to all of you. The first email will be, do you want to see our newsletter? And as everybody knows with social media now, you have to ask. So what we're going to do is with, I can never pronounce it properly, McCarn? Markham Printing. They're brand new. They just started up. They've come on board with us as well. They're going to be sending you out an email saying, would you be all right at getting a newsletter from Bowls of Hope? When you click yes, you'll start getting a quarterly newsletter from us. That newsletter will tell you what we're doing, what's coming up, how we're doing, what we need help with, and just self-promoting ourselves and looking to keep everybody informed. So that's coming up in the future as well. I think I covered everything. Wow. Usually I got somebody. Oh, there it is. I knew somebody was going to come whisper. Oh, Wanda. Where's Wanda? This is one of these good news stories. Wanda, stand up for me, please.
You're gonna embarrass me.
I'm going to embarrass you, Wanda. Wanda somehow found out about us and called me one night and said, Mike, I want to get involved with the Bowls of Hope. I said, wonderful, Wanda, can you deliver soup? No. Do you have lots of money, Wanda? No. Do you want to sponsor? No. I said, well, what can you do for us, Wanda? She says, Mike, I make bowl buddies. And I sat there and went, oh, okay, there's a crank call. Like, what is, what is a bowl buddy? So anyways, being me, I went and met Wanda and met a wonderful lady and a wonderful friend now. And she showed us these bowl buddies. And what she does is she handcrafts these small and large bowl buddies that you use when you put yourself, anything in the microwave. And we all know when you do that, you try to grab the bowl, you drop it on the floor, the dog runs and everybody swears and there's a mess. So these bowl buddies actually will protect the bowl and your hands. So we get in with this with Wanda, and Wanda says to me, Mike, all I need is your business cards and I'll raise you money. Now, the great part of this story is Wanda on her own has almost raised $1,000 for us selling these bowl buddies.
Such a wonderful project that everybody wants to take part in it. So it's been great for everybody.
Well, we thank you. So there's one of those examples of anything anybody can do. It's just wonderful to get those smaller stories. It's great, don't get me wrong, with the corporate Envision, Van City, Chilliwack Foundation. Yeah, that's incredible. But when one person comes forward and just works tirelessly and comes up with $1,000, that to me means everything to this program. It's grassroots, it's Chilliwack, it's us, it's you. That's why we do what we do. Oh, okay. And one more announcement that I forgot, which I can't believe I did. Which Rotary Club is it? I don't want to get it wrong, because I always do. Hank?
Rotary Club of Chilliwack Fraser.
Okay, what he said.
And I've got sign-up sheet over there.
Okay, Rotary Club Chilliwack Fraser. Hank's Club. One of the challenges I threw out to Hank a couple years ago was Mertens is wonderful. They give us vans, but the reality of these vans have been used in their shuttle service, and they come to us with 250, 300,000 kilometers on them. Not complaining, they're wonderful. But I can't send them to Vancouver to pick up incredible amounts of produce. They're not big enough. Chances are they won't come back across the Port Mann, those types of things. So we asked Hank, what can you do for us? Well, lo and behold, Hank talks to his club. They come through BC Gaming and have now committed to buying us a brand new Nissan panel van that we hope to get in the new year here. So there's a huge donation to us and a big thank you. Now that said, Hank has to sell all these tickets. So Hank, stand up, make sure everybody sees you. If you're looking to support that, Hank has those tickets that the Rotary Club sell every year. Incredible prizes. My wife and I have bought 2 or going to buy 2. Any support we can get, it just makes this easier for us and helps Hank get his goal set for that van for us.
And if you don't have cash on you tonight to do it, you can put your name and your phone number and Hank will call you, so there's a
Oh,
sheet
we'll
on
track you down. One thing we're good at is when you put your name down and say, I'm going to give you something, I will find you. I will always find you. The soup tonight, did you like that? Okay, so that's a pretty standard example of what we try to feed the kids every day. Proteins in there, there's high vegetable. We try to get them the bread as well, and any fruit, and now we're getting into the milk. Milk came from another Hank process, and Hank, I've just drawn a complete blank and I'm embarrassed. First West, I always wanted to call them Envision, but First West Foundation gave us $10,000 so that we can start our milk and fruit program this year. So there's another great donor. Right. Yeah. So in the last big donations that we get, and we can't make the soup, and you tasted it, it's the vegetables. And Dan, if you can stand, I'm going to embarrass you too, Dan. What the heck? Dan, if Dan can stand up from Local Harvest, just. Dan? And Helen, his lovely wife, who I bug all the time. Where's Dan? Where's Dan? Stand up, Helen. I just want you to know what Dan does. Dan's very quiet. He doesn't like self-promoting, but Dan doesn't only give us vegetables. Dan let me put my freezer in his store. He let me put the fridge in his store. He lets us come and go free, in and out of his place all the time, trouncing around, probably getting in the way. Those are things I don't think people realize how much that means. I had no idea where I was going to put a 10 by 10 freezer. I mean, does anybody have any room in their house? I didn't. Dan stepped up the moment he goes, yeah, sure. I was like, are you sure? He goes, yeah, sure. There's a spot for you here. Dan gives us vegetables year round. He's there at the last minute when we screw up and forget that we're doing an event and we don't have food. And I think I gave you 2 hours that day, Dan, about. Dan came through with an incredible meal for us so that we could, not lose face at the event. So a huge thank you to Dan as well for all the little things he does for us. And lastly, probably coming up on 13 years ago, I was working at Ferndale Institution, and I had a crazy warden that came to me and he said, I want to start a garden. Whatever. He says, I want it to be an organic garden. I said, oh, even better. And he says, I want the inmates to run it. I said, okay, now you're getting stupid. He says, and I want it to be 7 acres. I went, are you out of your mind? 5 months later, we started a 7-acre farm on Ferndale's property, producing organic food that goes throughout the Lower Mainland into Vancouver, and we benefit from it to the tune of 2,000 pounds every year. And that continues to be run today. And it's offenders and inmates. Inmates are, if you're not familiar with the terms, those are folks still serving time in jail. Offenders are released. Those are the folks that are producing that for us. So it's a huge give back program. And we're very proud of that. I'm retired now, so I don't say we, I should say Morgan and the rest of the crew that are carrying on that work are very proud to say that the offenders that return to your community, come back to the Fraser Valley, are in fact giving back. And they give back in a big and generous way. So that's another great program that we have running with Ferndale.